Hello and welcome to day 17 of Transurfing in 78 days. And today the topic is the feelings of guilt. Principle. The sense of guilt always generates scenarios related to punishment without you even realizing it. This is a typical of the usual worldview. Every crime is always punished. As soon as you notice the slightest trace of guilt, get rid of that rubbish immediately. Do not let it spoil your life. Live true to your own convictions, and you will never experience guilt. No one will dare judge you if you do not consider yourself guilty. When you are free of guilt, you will never find yourself in a situation in which someone tries to threaten you with violence. No guilt, no punishment. Interpretation. If you are struggling to shift a guilt complex, it is important to stop justifying yourself. This is one of those cases where treating the symptoms of the disease successfully deals with the cause. You do not have to convince yourself that you are not obligated to anyone. Simply observe your everyday actions. This requires a certain level of awareness. If previously you have had the habit of apologizing for the slightest thing, adopt a different habit. Explain your actions only when it is absolutely necessary. Stop feeling as though you owe something to others. Even if the feeling of being obligated continues, do not show it outwardly. When they stop getting the former knee-jerk reaction, the manipulators will gradually back off. At the same time, the heart and mind will gradually get used to the new sensation. If you are not trying to justify yourself, then things are obviously as they should be, and so your guilt simply cannot exist. As a result, the need for redemption will appear less and less often. Therefore, via the feedback chain, the outer form will gradually tidy up the inner content. The feeling of guilt will disappear, and with it, all its associated problems. And stay tuned for the meditation. Today, the mirror room becomes a crystal room, and you go down a little river on your little boat. Make yourself comfortable for the meditation. Tomorrow's day will be about self-worth. Bye. Thank you. Hello and welcome to day 17's meditation, the feelings of guilt, feelings of guilt. So we'll be dealing with guilt today. Oh, how fun. I'd like you to just make yourself as comfortable as possible. And take a deep breath as you imagine yourself the director of your movie, your own life. As you're sitting in the director's chair in front of the stage, you feel comfortable and supported. And your eyes kind of tilt up at the stage. And behind the stage is your screen. And the screen is glimmering. Like there's just a screensaver of sparkles. Sometimes it looks like the universe. maybe a galaxy that you like to look at and you might put on your screensaver. Just imagine that it's one of your favorite screensavers on your screen right now as you go deeper and deeper, more expansive. Inhaling and exhaling the cycles of life. Receiving, transmitting, receiving, and good. And you might remember, as all children should, have an experience with a teeter-totter. And nowadays there's not so many teeter-totters because of safety issues, but just remember a time when you played with a teeter-totter, or a balance, a scale. And it goes up on one side and down on the other as the person kind of lets their feet, lifts off, the other person goes down, and then the other person lifts off. And sometimes as a child my brothers would just get off the teeter-totter and I'd slam down. With a jolt. And just imagine that you can see this teeter-totter going up and down as you breathe on your screen. Deep down. And the star is returning onto the screen. And you meet the star as you enter the screen, entering the realm of your subconscious matrix, your subconscious mind, because you're so relaxed. And you become one with the star, and the star will show you where your shields lie. Have you ever been told about rhinoceros? They're a very interesting, strong animal. Their hide is the strongest hide of any animal on the planet Earth. Impermeable in most spots. Very strong, very fierce, but blind. And solitary. And they have a horn that they can gorge people with. And you don't want to be a target of a rhinoceros. Imagine in your life where you've been a rhinoceros, where you have your shield, your impenetrable hide. Maybe it's because you haven't wanted to feel the guilt, or maybe that shield is your guilt. Just look how your guilt shows up in your shields. As it said, the sense of guilt always generates scenarios related to punishment. How have you been punishing yourself? Imagine that you have been both a receiver, your physical body is a receiver and a transmitter of energy. And I'd like you to ground all the way down to the center of the earth. Imagine again that you are a tree with your roots spreading down and your branches sweeping wide. A tree receptive to the sunshine, receptive to the stars, absorbing the winds that come from the whole world through the collective unconscious mind is sweeping through your branches, and you're receiving the collective's information, and what will you absorb and what will you shield? Or just let the breeze go through your branches and just shimmering, your leaves shimmer as the breeze goes. And as a tree, you're receptive to the storms that are happening outside, and you just stand firmly in yourself and who you are. And the star shines down on this tree, and the tree becomes a sparkling transmitter that the winds take to the collective mind, changing the collective because of your transmissions. And notice how every thought that you think goes into the collective and affects the collective. And so when you're restricted and compressed because of feelings of guilt, you are actually become the receiver of punishment. Through your creation of your reality, being the director of your life. Now as a tree you start to swirl, you start to spin. And where you land is in the middle of the mirror room. And you notice that the mirror room is also really a crystal, and you look up and you can see yourself. And you see thousands, millions of yourselves, because every reflection has an eternal reflection going of that very thought that you just thought. And you are amazed by this. And like a tree in the fall, you decide that there's some leaves that need to drop and compost. And because time is not limited, time is a construct. You can go through the fall and be in the spring and plant new seeds all around you. A garden as you stand and your leaves have composted. And you can feel the mycelium of the mushrooms that teach you the balance of compost, of using the waste of your life to become a shimmering tree with new leaves. Now I want you to stand in front of one mirror. Ignoring the rest of the mirrors. And see your body. See your body as mostly energy. Because that's what it is. We come into the density of the third dimension of this world, and our senses perceive that there's this density, but actually every atom is more energy than matter. It's just that our senses, our eyes, are focused on this one narrow band. Our ears are focused on this narrow band of what we can perceive. Our sense of touch touches things and it feels like solid matter. And we see our problems as solid, like a steel axe or a piece of jade. Our thoughts can be used as a weapon or as a plowshare. And sometimes we have to cut the branches of our tree, the thoughts that do not serve us anymore, the old dead branches. Allow yourself to be the tree and also the gardener. Now allow your body to have its crystalline matrix be cleared and free and moving, and any excess energies within your physical body are just being grounded down, and any place where there's not enough energy flowing through just starts to move. And if there's emotions blocking that spot, just imagine that you don't have to feel the old emotion. It's history. It can be gone, it can be cleansed, and only the lesson that your soul has purified is harvested. like separating the wheat from the chaff. And imagine how every forest has this mycelium that connects it. The whole forest is connected. And you may not have known this before, but it's true. As you are connected to the whole of the earth. And in your heart you can feel this connection, this unity. And you can unify the field within your own body. And you can become a transmitter of your heart math, your heart energy, love and light and soulful action. In the mirror room, the mirror, you all of a sudden see a stream wide enough for your boat to go down, and you see that your boat is tethered to the shoreline of this stream or river. When you get into the boat, it's a little bit tips that way and that, and you find your balance. You get in the boat and you untie the tether, and you just start floating down, and you imagine your life without guilt. And you let the images of what you want to create come to you. You're just going through. Remember, in your imagination, everything can be pristine, everything can be sparkling, and there are no mistakes. And you are safe in your imagination. If you come through some violent image, just imagine that you're just bursting through that image with light, and the image shatters and just becomes particles that are being removed, like a vacuum cleaner is just removing that thing that may have made you afraid of and stopped you. Just allow yourself to go down this peaceful little river in your little boat. And you are an expert navigator. And just imagine that the river is cleansing you of your apologies for being you. You might see a time when you got in trouble for being who you are, and where you feel shame and guilt because you are who you are. And just let those images shatter and be absorbed and cleansed by the river and grounded. Your boat even is grounded down to the center of the earth. Earth, the great recycle center. Earth, which wastes nothing. Reincorporates what we see as pollutants, can be dismantled and reused. And that is the gift of the new children that are on this planet, and they do know how to fix this nightmare. And you are that child, and you do know how to diminish the nightmare and make it a dream where nature thrives and we are at peace with our life, our lives, and we command our thoughts to create a reality of interest. And information and beauty and grandeur. And may all life be protected, be healed, the whole earth and how it's been attacked and damaged. May it be vibrant again and nature restore itself like it always will. In your life, be forgiven of any guilt or shame that you've had, any fear of punishment being erased. And let go of in a gentle and easy manner. And you start spinning again in the mirror room, spinning all around you, spinning all around you. And it feels so good. It's like sparkles and healing light, taking all the garbage of others' control over you. And a lot of times it was out of love and their own programming, and just let yourself forgive others as well as yourself. As the mirror room swirls and you land back in front of the stage, you start to become awake and you anchor your thumbs to your index fingers and you do the infinity symbol with your eyes, keeping your head still, and reverse. 1, 2, 3. You will remember the important parts of this session, and each session is made to build upon the other or stand alone. Remember that energy, you are constantly grounding the energy that's coming in, grounding to the center of the earth and up to the central sun, whatever that is to you. And remember your symbol for these meditations, the insignia you may have seen yesterday, or create one right now. Feeling like you've been on vacation for 2 weeks and have been laughing for the last 10 minutes. A sense of joy and wonder in your life and how you'll see other people more clearly and have the capability to forgive yourself and others in an instant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wide awake. Ready to take on the day and enjoy the day and control or direct, steer your boat away from the rocks as the river goes faster every day. Okay. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a wondrous day. Day 17. The feelings of guilt. Thank you very much, and I hope you join me tomorrow for, let's see, what will the tomorrow's be? Self-worth. Okay, thank you very much. It's been a gas.